What's up, y'all? It's Jeff Cobb, and you're listening to Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show on Social Suplex Podcast Network.
You're listening to the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show. Listener discretion is advised at all times.
Hello and thank you once again for downloading and listening to another episode of the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show, part of the Social Suplex Podcast Network. I've ruined it straight away, but I'm going to keep this in. Support for which is brought to you by the Manscaped people, who are the best in the men's below the belt grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. Stop laughing at me. They obsess over their technology developments to provide you the best tools for your grooming experience. Ricky, welcome back, sir. Good to have you back.
Good to be back. Good to be back.
And this is your first time listening, people. It was Ricky and I am Clive, and we are joined by a regular guest and friend to the show, Ray Cash, aka Rance Morris. A very good afternoon to you over in 5th Ward, Rance.
Well, good evening, because it's nighttime over there. Over in, I don't want to give away your location, but yeah, there.
It's Harry and Meghan's Princedom. As far as I'm aware.
I'm gonna laugh about the city and the Shire having the same name with a different letter. That's still the funniest thing to me. But yes, top of the morrow to you, or top of the evero to you. How do you say good evening in Scottish?
All right.
Good evening.
All right.
So, what we're going to do this week, we've got a wee surprise for you lined up, and later on, it's kind of a wee take on something that we did last week, which got some nice feedback. So, but before then, our friend Ricky here has been watching some G1 Climax number 30 from across the pond, and then over another stretch of land, and then another pond. Is that right? Aye, that is. New Japan's G1 Climax. 2 nights have happened so far, Ricky, is that right?
Well, technically, I suppose right now when we're recording on a Tuesday night, 2 nights, but when this gets released, the 3rd night will have happened, which is tomorrow morning. So, yeah, 2 nights so far when we're recording.
And how has it been so far, the 2 nights you've seen?
I mean, pretty fucking good. Like, if they decided we're not going to show any more, then I think we've certainly had, like, I would say about 3-4 matches so far that have been excellent. Pick of the bunch, I would probably say as Tanahashi Naito from night 2, Okada and Ibushi from night 1. And also from night 1 we had Suzuki and Ishii, and a Zack Sabre match against Evil. I quite like that. I think it's more so just because, like Clive, we both love Zack Sabre's style of wrestling. Really, really like him. A couple other ones that kind of stood out. I liked Cobb and Tai Chi as well. Yeah, so like I said, that's about 3 or 4 straight away. And then, like it says, night 3, which is already going to be in the books, like I said, by the time this drops. There's a couple on that card as well that's going to be excellent. We've got Ibushi versus our favourite at the moment, Jay White.
Oh.
King Switch.
And Jay White had a good match in night 1 as well against Shingo. There's also Ishii versus Ospreay. We've got Okada and Takahashi on night 1 as well. Night 3. And then night 4 will be on Thursday morning. I'm just looking at the card right now. We've got Naito and Zack Sabre Jr.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Juice Robinson and Kenta, which I'm kind of looking forward to as well. Yeah, like, first couple of nights have been excellent. Like I says, like, and the crazy thing is, like, a couple of those matches have been quite good so far. Like, they probably won't even be in, like, that top 5, 6 at the end of the G1, which is kind of crazy. But I do think that Naito and Tanahashi match will be probably be in my top 3, certainly going in my top 5, I think, without a doubt, come end of G1. Naito obviously being the champ. And like, I know Kiss were running like their own G1 competition, and like using over the last week or so, it's just been hectic for me, and I'm gutted I never made a submission to it. So I'm going to just make a prediction right now, and if it comes true, then I'm going to be appearing on Kiss, alongside whoever wins the competition officially. I'm going Jay White to win one block. I'm going Kenta to win the other.
Kenta.
And
Okay.
we'll have with Jay White winning it. And I think it was Sam that tweeted it out, that it's only going to be so long before we start to see like Jay White or Kenta, really one of them I'm not so much stabbing the other one in the back, but kind of being like, right, well, I'm the real leader kind of thing when it comes to the Bullet Club, and I wonder if that'll be the start of the breakup or removal of one of them. But yeah, I'm going Kenta, Jay White, and Jay White winning it all, with it obviously, if you just work on the assumption that Naito is going to hold all the way up to Wrestle Kingdom, but Jay White and Naito.
That's funny you mentioned
Again.
that, because I had Jay White and Evil for the same exact reasons you said.
Mm-hmm.
I think Evil makes more sense than Kenta, even though Kenta would probably be a better choice because Evil was the champion.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, wouldn't it be a perfect year for Naito or for the champion to finally win the G1 and pick his own opponent? Because there's no guy that's like next up.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's funny. Josh kind of touched on that last week on Keeping It Strong Style, and let's say, like, I'm not going to, let's say, I've watched it. Last year was the first time I've watched the G1 like from start to finish. Other like previous, I would just kind of pick and choose if I heard good matches. But obviously, if you're wanting like proper breakdown and analysis and previews and stuff, well, there's only one podcast for you, and that is Keeping It Strong Style with Jeremy and Josh. That's one plug we don't need to do at the end of the show, because I've got it sorted.
You should call yourself an electrician, because that was a beautiful plug.
Well done. Quite illuminating.
No, so
electrifying.
It's been a good start. I reveal that I'd drop the kids off at school tomorrow morning, and I would watch 93 and 4 back to back before they come home, but obviously I won't be able to do that because I said I got my days mixed up, so I'll be watching it at some point tomorrow morning, I think.
So, you both know that Jay White Naito is one of my matches of the year, and I was always thinking, am I going to get to see the rematch between them towards the end of this tournament? I'm guessing
well, it would need to take place in the final.
Right, they're both in the same block?
No, separate blocks.
Right.
Yeah.
But your prediction would mean it would happen at Wrestle Kingdom?
Yes.
Oh well, I can wait a bit longer for that then. That sounds quite tasty to me. Did Naito win his match?
Is your camera off?
No.
No, I've lost you. Sorry, we were saying Naito what?
Did Naito win his match?
Yes. And I sent a question into Keeping It Strong Style. I've not listened to the podcast as yet, talking about that to tie in with Josh's potential theory. But yeah, that was the Tanahashi match on night 2.
Just give
me. Do you think it?
On you go.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I was just going to say, do you think it's possible that we could see a babyface Switchblade if he fights Naito?
So, working on that assumption, you assume that he's been kicked out of the Bullet Club then?
That is that. So the one thing that I noticed, and I don't know if you've noticed this, but Bullet Club was always a Gaijin faction, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was created for the Gaijins by the Gaijins to basically band together against the Japanese company. Well, when COVID happened and Switchblade couldn't get in the country, and Gato brought in Evil, and Evil became the de facto figurehead, if you will. That was the first time that Bullet Club has been led by a homegrown Japanese talent. And if you look at it, remember, long gone are the days when Tokyo Pimp Yujiro was the part of my terminology, but the token Japanese guy. Look how many Japanese people are in Bullet Club now. Evil, Kenta, Gato, Jado, Togo, Mori, Yujiro. Like, it is becoming by and large, a majority Japanese stable. So I think there's a chance that Bullet Club might side with Evil or Kenta in our scenarios against Jay White, and he gets kicked out. That's been the history of the club, right? The leader always gets kicked, or the figurehead always gets kicked out, and they continue moving on.
Yep. I think, and I suppose the one thing that the criticism we hear about Jay White is that, like, I know he's a heel and you kind of cheat to win, etc. But like, it would be an interesting Jay White babyface, because I think, and I'm not one of these people that believes that, like, just because you're a heel you should limit your moveset, etc., and not do what's people like the quote unquote cool stuff. But I think Jay White as a babyface could be, like, I think you might see more in his arsenal. I think you might see something completely different, just in the sense that, like I said, you won't see the whole cheating to win, etc. Getting outside help and stuff like that. Would be interesting, but like I said, that would be my theory anyway, that Jay White wins it and ultimately is kicked out the Bullet Club. But yeah, like I said, looking forward to night 3 and 4 especially, and then I think is night 5 and 6. I think that might be this coming weekend. Maybe Saturday, Sunday, or it's Sunday, Monday, or something. Can't remember now. But yeah, like I said, if you're wanting more in-depth analysis, etc., Keeping It Strong Style is on the podcast you should listen to.
If you want more in-depth analysis, you need to keep it strong style. That should be the tagline.
2 plugs in one night. They're wow. They really got the juice tonight. Get it? No. I'll shut up.
The spark wasn't there for that one.
Even see the master is still the master.
Right. Oh, appearance. Right. Sorry, this is a bit of a under the hood stuff here, but before we started, Rance had a Skype background, and I'm seeing if I can get one for me, and it makes me sad that I can't get one, because you see all these videos on Twitter of people with funny backgrounds, and I don't have it, and I still don't have it. So this last 20 seconds has been pointless.
Inside baseball, guys.
Right, so the next part we're going to do tonight should take up the rest of the show. It was received well by at least one person. Shout out to Paul Tolley, who thought this was a good free thing to do. We're going to look at some of the hot takes that we see on Twitter. And oh, Rance just lit up there like an electrician, rubbing his hands together joyously.
Why can't I see you?
Can you see me, Rance?
I can see you fine, yes sir.
Okay. Maybe I've just, I don't know. I've saved a few, so there's not some dead air like I did last week. I've saved a few, bookmarked a few tweets that I've seen over the last couple of days, and they garnered quite the reaction. So I thought I would take that reaction live on here. And I was worried. I was worried for about 3 seconds about identifying these people, but at the end of the day, they're going to be. They've been retweeted and talked about. So there's a chance that more people have seen the tweets than they will listen to this show. So fuck them.
the slogan of my show. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Well, very well done.
Which is Outsider's Edge, which can be found at the Chairshot Radio. Where are you?
Always use your dick and your head.
Look, see if we're going to talk about people's hot takes, I think we should be naming them.
Oh, I'm going to.
I mean, if you, I've not saw any of these hot takes, but see if your takes are absolutely fucking terrible, then you deserve to be dragged through the mud and named and shamed. So
Absolutely.
we are not going to do you a disservice whoever tweeted these out. We will give out your Twitter handle and everything.
Your house, your phone number.
And we'll allow our listeners to come and shit on you personally. That's just the kind of guys we are.
We'll give out their Twitter handle, their star sign, what days of the week that they work from home and when they work at the office.
What five hot takes did Caleb tweet out then? Shout out to Caleb Baldwin.
There's not enough time in the show for Caleb's hot takes. It's just not.
Happy birthday, Caleb.
Is that today?
It was a few days ago. Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday, I think it was. Yep.
Happy belated birthday, Caleb.
So I texted him personally, so...
Right, this is a lukewarm one, but I thought it would be quite an interesting discussion. This is from recent admin / organiser of the LOP Fantasy Draft, Tony Beauchamp, at Bad News Bo. He has said, I miss the World Heavyweight Championship. I wish it would replace the Universal title. Rance, what are your thoughts on this take?
The World Heavyweight Championship is the greatest belt, I believe, ever, aesthetically.
Mm-hmm.
It has a tremendous lineage. But, look, at some point, we got to stop. I want the stuff from back in the day. Like, bro, it's a new day. It's a new generation, if you're the legacy. But it's new, man. Like, give the Universal Championship time to become as prestigious as the World Heavyweight Championship. Because in 2002, when Eric Bischoff gave that belt to Triple H and subsequently had to feud with Scott Steiner and Goldberg, y'all bitched about that belt. So, like, give it time.
Mm-hmm. See, I think the Universal title had a year or so of being cursed because you had Finn, who lost it straight away, and then, this is just a personal standpoint, Kevin Owens had it for a good few months, that was good fun, and then it went to Goldberg, and then Brock Lesnar had it for over a year, and then Roman got it, and his leukemia flared up again, and he had to go away. Then Seth had it. I can't even remember, I'm lost. The Fiend had it, and then it went back to Goldberg, and then it was on Raw and Strowman for a while, and it seems a bit muddy, a muddy lineage so far. Ricky, are you with us? Is your Skype playing up?
No, I'm still here.
What are your thoughts on it then?
I mean, like, I didn't like the design when I first saw it, but I've kind of, I think, gotten used to it is probably the better word, as opposed to coming round on it. Mm-hmm. Like, I love the World Heavyweight title as well, but you know what, the one I love, the Winged Eagle, the Winged Eagle from the Attitude Era. Mm-hmm. That might be my favourite one. Design. I don't really have much of a take on it. When it first came out, it was like, I don't like the look of that at all. But I don't mind it now, just because, like I say, I've gotten used to what it looks like.
And one important thing we got to remember is that everything about entertainment is nostalgic, right? Mm-hmm. It just is, by nature. But you have to understand that with every generation comes the necessity for a change in something different that reflects that generation. Because, like, our generation that we grew up with was Winged Eagle belt, the big gold, right? Mm-hmm. Then the ones after us got the spinner belt, and we hated that. But that generation loved it. It sold a ton of merchandise, a ton of it, right?
You had Rocks. Sorry, you had the Rocks. With
the big W, well. Yeah, like everything is. So it's all it's all for the generation of kids now, because you want a brand. You want to make sure you continue your brand with your championship. I mean, one of the smartest things WWE has done as a company is every time a team wins a championship, or a major solo person wins a championship in their sport, they send them a belt. And you can't never miss it because it's got the big ass W right on it, you know. So every generation is different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, slightly off topic there. Imagine the Jacksonville Jaguars win the Super Bowl.
Well, it'll never happen, but that would be
definitely won't
the
happen.
hilarity.
Slightly off topic.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, it was just because Vance says when they send it to sports team or individuals when they win a title.
Oh.
How hilarious would it be if the Patriots win and Tony Khan sends AEW championship to the Patriots? Because that's their team. They rock for the Patriots because it's New England.
Yeah.
I'd never really minded the red Universal title, but that blue is disgusting.
Really? You don't like the color blue? Is that what it is?
No, I mean, I think
he's a Celtic man.
It's weird because the SmackDown Women's title is lovely, but the SmackDown Tag and Universal titles are just nasty looking.
Right, so again, random question. What is the nicest title right now in any company?
IWGP.
Yeah, that's not included.
Oh, I can't have a discussion.
That is the answer. But
I'll give you a secondary answer. Walters NXT UK.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm a big fan of the Progress tag titles, actually.
Oh, those are beautiful.
Mm.
Like the yin and yang on them.
Yep, yin and yang. That's right.
I do like the AEW tag titles though.
They're not bad.
They look like WCW tag titles.
Well, I mean, so do, like a lot of this. I mean, the actual AEW title is just kind of like the IWGP, just slightly different.
Basically,
women's tag titles are nice. They're very nice.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But the Progress tags are delicious.
Personally, I might get hate for this, but I think all of the secondary titles in WWE look great. I think the new IC title is fantastic. Mm-hmm. I've always loved the Cruiserweight title since they got the purple belt off of it. Like, I think they look fantastic. They're just not featured.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that. I do like the US title.
The new one.
When you see it, when they first debuted it, I don't know if it was the angle or whatever, it looked bad. But ever since then, when you see it in the right angles, it looks majestic and beautiful. So yeah, like they're not out the park. They're not out the park with their secondary titles.
I preferred the older US title. That was one of my favourites. So I've got nothing against the new one. I just prefer the other one. And the IC title looks like it should be a promotions world title. It's that nice. Mm-hmm. Right, you ready for the next hot take? I'm sort of warming you guys up, okay? The next one, this is a tweet that got some traction from Sub to the Elitist on YT. Never heard of this person, but they have asked, who is someone WWE dropped the ball on? Now, they've said Wade Barrett. That's not what I'm discussing tonight. All three of these guys should be strong mid-cards by this time, but Vince won't let it happen because he's still not a believer in their style. This is from Mr. Alright OK, and it is a GIF featuring Aleister Black, Mustafa Ali, and Ricochet. Now,
WWE dropped the ball on those three.
Mm-hmm.
Richard?
First of all, I agree with the Wade Barrett thing.
I don't think that's up for dispute, that one.
No, like, and I've long says, I can't remember the year now, but when Rey Mysterio came in at number 30 and he got booed because everyone thought it was going to be CM Punk, like, that had to have been...
That was going to be Bryan, not Punk, but yeah.
Oh, was it Bryan? Sorry. That had to have been... Oh, well, Danny Bryan. That had to have been Wade Barrett appearing, sorry, but I've got some bad news for you. And you're like, like, seriously, like, that was just a golden opportunity. Ricochet, I don't care much for, so I don't really give a shit. Yeah, Mustafa Ali, I think I've been a big sayer in, like, what you have in him is what you had in Sammy initially. Like, just an all-around wonderful person, great babyface, hell of a wrestler. And by the way, like, Mustafa Ali can cut a promo as well. Like, I think, like, for me, like, we need to, when people talk about being pushed and stuff like that, and I know that this person mentioned about mid-card, but people need to understand and differentiate is from what an actual push is and what they think a push is. Like, when people talk about this guy needs to be pushed, well, you're saying this guy probably, what you mean is this guy probably needs to be pushed into the main event title picture. And I was like, no, that's not what a push always is. Like, a push is just if you see the guy on weekly TV engaged in a good feud and winning matches. For me, like, I think Mustafa Ali falls into the latter. Like, I understand that, like, we've got Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre, etc. And, like, would it look weird, Mustafa Ali versus Brock Lesnar, just from, like, aesthetically looking at it? Sure, it might look weird coming up against Drew, fine. But, like, I can name umpteen examples of, whether it's in MMA or in boxing, where a smaller guy just decapitates a bigger guy and is just far better than that person. So for me, yeah, I would say Mustafa Ali should be treated better. I'm not advocating that he should be holding one of the world titles. I mean, I definitely wouldn't turn my nose up. I definitely wouldn't turn my nose up at that. I think that dropping a ball suggests that there is no way back now, and it always kind of is. That's the other thing. Like if you look at Braun Strowman, did they drop the ball with Braun Strowman at the time? Yes, it did. They gave it later on. It didn't feel as special. So in that sense, it did. But for me, when it comes to Mustafa Ali, there's still time. There's still plenty of time, I think, where you can turn around and start to push him and elevate him. You've just got to fucking let him do it.
Well, I've actually bookmarked one of Mustafa Ali's tweets. He's standing in front of the Orlando Magic crest. If they only believed in magic, catch me on this week's episode of Main Event, putting on the best match of the week again.
Hashtag Main Event Mustafa.
Yep, that very one. So they two can be tied together, those tweets. We'll touch on Aleister Black in a minute, but is that attitude going to help if he's regularly tweeting out his disdain for his position in the company?
I mean, I'll let Ryan speak then, but on the flip side, when you keep quiet and nothing's really happening, well, what do you have to lose? I hate, this person needs to leave WWE and go to AEW, or this person needs to leave AEW and go to New Japan, or this person needs to leave New Japan and go here. I hate all that bullshit. But I would say it for Mustafa Ali that if he's not going to be treated the way I would like him to be treated, let's clear that right away. Just because I want it doesn't mean it should happen, and that's the right thing. I'm just talking about purely my own personal feelings towards it. I would happily watch him in a different wrestling company and being pushed further up. I don't want it to be AEW, if I'm honest, because I feel like a lot of his matches would then just turn into like flippy, non-stop spots, and I don't think he's that kind of wrestler.
And he'll get lost in the shuffle. They have too many guys like him.
Yep. Like, not saying he should go here, but like if he went to like Impact or something like that, like I think
he'd be Impact champion in 5 months.
Yeah, I think he'd be great, and that's and I know people are going to be like, oh, another ex-WWE guy going to Impact or like and becoming their champ. Well, unlike a lot of the other ones, this guy's fucking legit.
So let me answer both questions. I'm going to answer the second question first. Is what he's saying on Twitter hurting him? Only if he's not saying it in person. Because I think a lot of the issues we've had with people who have used Twitter as kind of their venting and sounding board. Sasha, at one point, the Revival, a lot of their tenure. I think the issue we had with it was it came off as them bitching when they were getting everything that they wanted, but they were still complaining, right? Sasha hasn't had a long title reign, but Sasha's won like 5 world championships and has had a hand in almost every one of every major moments that women have had over the past 6 years. The Revival, no, we're not used as like Edge and Christian or the Hardys or the Road Warriors or something. Somebody would have been used, but they won 6 world tag championships, right? They were a major part of that tag division. Tag division just isn't utilized. So when you see them complaining, one, it makes you feel like, well, what are you complaining about? You got everything. 2, they weren't doing it in the back, right? At least not to that level. Mustafa Ali isn't being used.
And from what we've been led to believe, he was about to be used and then wasn't, with the hacker thing.
Multiple times. Kofi Mania was supposed to be Ali Mania.
That's true.
Multiple times. Like he's been cut off multiple times, not because they don't believe in the guy, just things happen. He got hurt. Angle fell out of favor. Things happen. This is what it is. But it's only to me an issue if what you're complaining about is if it doesn't match what's happening to you, and if I don't believe you're saying it in the back. So now this is very much is conjecture because of the guy Mustafa has shown himself to be, but I do believe, much like Big E has shown us with what he said on Talking Smack in other shows I do believe that Ali is saying the things on Twitter to Vince, to Bruce Pritchard, to Triple H. Give me this opportunity. I deserve this opportunity. Here's why. So I don't take umbrage with it as much as in that situation. I can understand it might not look the best, but Mooch said it perfectly. Like, what does he have to lose at this point?
Well,
you know the place I'd love to see him go is NXT.
He's never been there, yeah.
Apart from they don't have like one match in a Cruiserweight Classic or something, but I don't even think that fucking counts.
Remember, he was the alternate in the Cruiserweight Classic. He wasn't even in it.
That was the match against Lince Dorado, and I remember it well.
To answer
a 7-minute match or something.
7 minutes of beauty.
Well, that first round were real fast matches, but they were really good. To answer the first question, you said it perfectly again, Mooch. Again, I'm sorry, Rick. Kayfabe. Not bad. Take your fan hat off. Put what a push is. The only thing that a wrestler is promised or a wrestler is guaranteed is an opportunity. So if you have an opportunity, if you are being utilized, the ball's not being dropped with you. First and foremost, number one, at the bare minimum. Aleister Black is utilized.
Yes.
Ricochet has been consistently utilized from day one. I can't find very many. He's always been on Raw. I don't think he's ever been on SmackDown. I can't remember very many Raws in the past 2 years now. He's been on the main roster because he debuted right before 35. That he hasn't been on in some capacity, right? Ali can't get on the main show. That's underutilized. That's dropping the ball. So yes, I think we all agree with Ali. But Ricochet and Aleister Black, if you bring in fandom, are they being used to their highest potential? No. But there's maybe 5 guys in the company that are being used to their highest potential. Roman Reigns, just for the first time in his entire reign of terror, pun intended, is being used to his full potential. For the first time since 2012. So yeah, so that push conversation is a conversation that we regular folk don't really need to have because we don't understand what constitutes a real push.
And people need to understand you need a good mid card.
Yeah. Somebody got to lose. Everybody can't win every match.
And it's a different matter if you don't like what they're doing with Aleister Black just now. But he's on telly at the end of the day.
You know, like, there's two things, right? I think, like, as you say, somebody's got to lose, right? Well, not everyone can be in the upper mid-card, or not everyone can be in the main event scene. Like, it's not possible. So, obviously, there's going to be people you go around and there's like peaks and troughs, and like Seth for so long was in the main event scene, and then moved down to the mid card, and now he's doing this whole thing with Rey Mysterio and etc. But so at some point, Seth will move back up towards mid card. It just goes around a cycle. Like I said, not everyone can be where you want them to be at the time. And the other thing I think is there's too many people there at the moment on the roster. So if you cut it down slightly and these people went elsewhere, then you might get to watch them elsewhere. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, like I say, it's like not everyone can be where you want them to be as much as you want them to. It's just the nature of the beast. Like, I mean, Braun Strowman was just held the title for about 3 or 4 months, and now he's on Raw Underground kind of thing, you know what I mean? So, like, there's always... And at some point, I'm sure Braun will move back up to the main event. So, I said, you go out, it's a cycle.
Mm-hmm. Well, another person who tweeted in reply to sub to the Elitist on YouTube about someone dropping the ball. This is a tweet, and I'll say you probably have seen this because it got quite the attraction. What I don't get is
this the one with the picture of the A people? Is that the one?
The A people?
Is it the Sasha one?
No. What I don't get is he got over the same way The Rock, Stone Cold and Daniel Bryan.
Oh my God, I saw this one.
The same way The Rock, Stone Cold and Daniel Bryan did, but for some reason it was a problem. So apparently at Isino Dub Talk thinks that Ty Dillinger the ball was dropped on him because he got over in the same way as 3 strong candidates for best characters ever in WWE.
So look, may I speak first? Because I was an admitted Ty Dillinger fan.
Oh, I thought it was good fun.
I have his shirt. The numbers never lie. The reason I was a Ty Dillinger fan was because, again, this is a little inside baseball, but if you followed his career, Ty Dillinger had been with the company so long. He was in the ECW reboot.
That's right. Gavin
Spears. Right? On top of that, you remember when Shawn Michaels kicked Stan? He super kicked that guy Stan. What's your name, Stan?
Yes,
I just kicked Stan. That's Ty Dillinger.
Right.
So to see, much like how I feel a kinship with Angelo Dawkins, they used to be tag team partners, by the way. I respected heavily the fact that everything he took, he said, all right, cool. He got fired and got rehired. All right, cool. Stayed the course and found something that worked for him and bought in completely. Right? Like, I remember when Angelo Dawkins used to come to the ring dressed with the little too small hat and the backpack like he was a fake party starter guy with DJ. Like, it was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I remember these things, right? I remember Husky Harris before he was Bray Wyatt. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, I remember Nick Nemeth, the caddy for Chavo Guerrero when Chavo Guerrero turned white for like 3 weeks. Like, I remember. So to see these guys find their potential, completely tap into it, and go all out is a beautiful thing to see, and that's what drew me to Ty. But please understand, Dillinger was never over. The 10 chant was over. Like, so no, like he got the chant over, but then much like perfect example. Fandango's fantastic wrestler, fantastic character. For 7 years in America, crickets. But when he goes to the UK, what happens? He's the most over dude in the building. Because of what? The theme music.
Mm-hmm. Ricky,
right?
What are your thoughts? Because I've got a wee mild rant about it.
Two things, right? You must be one of two things, right? To be classed as a success or like over or whatever, right? You've either got to be like amazingly great or whatever inside the ring, or you've got to be like a Bray Wyatt level type of character, if you mean like personality, gimmick, etc. Even with neither. Like, you left WWE thinking you were a big deal. What the fuck are you doing in AEW? It's not like you're treated as a big deal there.
You're letting Tony Khan give you stunners in dark matches.
Like, that's it. Nothing else needs to be said. Like,
what was the match with him and Dustin when he got stripped to his underwear, or I'm sorry, to his skivvies, like that, like that, down to his skivvies with Tully's face on his crotch. But this is Stone Cold.
Mm-hmm. There used to be a brand of boxers in the UK called ball bags, by the way.
Yeah,
ball bags. Come get a pair of ball bags.
What's your second thing, Ricky?
That was it. Like, that was it. Two things where you either got to be like a great personality or great in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
He's fucking neither. Like, that tweet made no sense to me whatsoever. Just some fucking idiot tweeting just nonsense.
Oh, he got dragged over the hot coals like someone who'd just spilled a barbecue in their back garden.
What's the Twitter handle? Because I'm going to go on Twitter right now and just tweet at him. You, my friend, are a fucking idiot. What was it?
Ricky is ruthless, y'all. I hope y'all understand this by now. He is ruthless.
It's at Esino Dub Talk. Two S's. ESSINO DUB Talk. Shout out to Essa Rios, by the way.
Essa Rios.
Great European title match with Eddie Guerrero at Backlash 2000. Check it out on the WWE Network. Free for the first month and $9.99 thereafter.
Do y'all get a kickback from that or something? That was a good plug.
It was. I can plug WWE better than I can plug my own bloody show.
Because we get the plugs every 5 minutes when we watch the shows.
So, right. See, just a sort of maybe 6-12 months before, basically the takeover era.
Hold on, this piece of shit's got 27 followers. Fuck that.
Have they?
That's some fucking stupid account. I'm not replying to that.
And they've said on the 11th of September, fuck Christmas. Okay.
I ain't going to lie, right? I'm sorry for any UK folks that listen to the show and are going to be offended by this, right? I fucking hope Christmas gets cancelled.
That's not fair. We celebrated Eid. We celebrated the shit out of Eid.
No.
I ate good on Eid.
You know what's not fair? Cancelling the fucking biggest Islamic celebration the night before it is due to take place. Not only the night before, like mere hours before. Less than 12 hours.
What was cancelled?
Like people up and down in Bradford and Blackburn and general round that area in England were told you're not allowed to go to the mall or any of the houses. Eid was effectively cancelled.
They cancelled Eid over there? I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh dear.
Eid, Ali, every other cultural thing has gone on here.
And they cancelled it.
Okay. Well, then that's fair. I respect that.
But hey,
I'll be Jewish this year and light the.
Nah, I don't want to cancel. I'm just taking a piss. But anyway, we'll forget about politics. Like, some of the stuff that's happening really makes no sense. On you go, Clive.
Right. So roundabouts the takeover era, or let's say 6 to 12 months before Ty Dillinger was called up, there has been a trend with the NXT call-ups, and I think it does continue, where those who weren't actually that big a deal in NXT moved over to the main roster and became a bigger deal. Braun Strowman, Alexa Bliss, even Elias. Yep. There's been a few more. I did have a list in my head and I've lost it now. It's gone. But there's been a few that have done much better for themselves on the main roster than they did in NXT. And I thought when Ty Dillinger went up, it's weird that he's been called up because he's actually not done that much. Okay, he had a good 10 gimmick that went over. It did go over very well. And he had a couple of takeover matches. But realistically, he didn't really set the header alight with regards to a career, like a successful, achievement-laden career. And he was one of the odd ones out when it came over to the main roster that just sort of nothing happened. It's like he's had so many chances, as you said, WWECW. He was there before. He was in NXT. Was he in NXT before the takeover era?
Yeah, he was kind of the gatekeeper.
Right.
So like, yeah, he's a former FCW champion. He's him and Angelo Dawkins were the king of the developmentals because they were there forever.
They were even used. He was even used as the go-to wrestler for those returning from lengthy injuries. Because he was that clean and crisp and textbook of a wrestler that Sami Zayn, buggered shoulders and all, trusted him to scrap in the ring with. And then he just came onto the main roster, and the most over he was when Randy Orton took some pliers to his fingers.
That's true. I forgot about that. Yeah, and our dumbasses thought, oh, there's a story coming. No.
And then since then, he's been in AEW. He had a match with Cody. Then
the Aaron chair shot.
The chair shot heard round the world. He's doing something with Tully. Sitting there taking pictures. What's different?
I can tell you what's different. He's cutting his own promos and making his own gimmick now, and so he's even lower on the card now than he was. Keep it a buck. Am I lying?
He's terrible.
Speaking of Ty Dillinger, let's keep it on topic. This was from someone more than 27 followers, Mr. Warren Hayes, whose current handle is Slapjack Mace. Now, I agree with this, and I spoke about this last week. So the Iconics are no longer a tag team, but they're still friends. But we had to split up the tag team, but they're still friends. But the tag team absolutely had to split up. Now, I think this is more indicative of they're just shredding through the women's tag teams at the moment. But I haven't seen Raw. Rance, can you confirm that they're still being good friends on TV?
I wouldn't say good friends, but I think the story that's being told, and I am one to see things where there might not be something, so I can acknowledge that. But what it looks like they're doing is that they're telling a story of, well, they're so used to being around each other that they're doing it because it feels right, even though they're not the same people.
Okay.
And it's a slow breakaway, and we're going to end up feuding. But right now, well, I haven't been away. I've been with you the entire time I've been in America and in this company, so we're still going to be around each other. Because Billie Kay went with Peyton Royce to the ring, but Peyton was getting ass beat, and Billie was just watching. And then Zelina walked in and caused a disqualification, and Billie was just watching. Mm-hmm. So like nothing happened. So I'm sure it seems like something is coming to an head there eventually, and then Vince will, all of a sudden say fuck it and forget about it and keep it moving. But nonetheless,
I just want them to be together. It sets certain scenarios within one's mind.
It's a different type of. To Vince's credit, both of those girls have tremendous potential as single stars.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wouldn't have broken them up, but I can see wanting to make some money with them individually. I can see that.
There's been a lot of talk about Billie Kay being a terrible wrestler, and that if it's going to be a splitting up, then Peyton Royce is the right choice. Again, this is probably bias. I prefer Billie Kay. There's a comic genius to her that Vince would absolutely love if she was given free reign.
Go look, and I don't really pay attention to stuff like this, but I saw a tweet. Go look at the just based on the entrances alone, like the difference in views. Like Billy Kay has so many more YouTube views than Peyton Royce does.
That's my fault.
Can I keep it a buck with you? Can I keep it a buck with you, Rick?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, a lot of that is people like her, but I'm just keeping it real. I'm not saying I agree with this, but you can see Billy's tits in the in the thumbnail, and Peyton's thumbnail doesn't show tits.
Do you know how people say Merlin's beard when it's a sort of, oh, for God's sake, they'll say, oh, Merlin's beard.
Mm-hmm.
Would Billy's tits be a replacement for that? Oh, Billy's tits.
For you, sir, yes. But remember, they might not know you're talking about Billy Kay. It might be Billy somebody else.
Kidman?
Billy Gunn?
I would say arse.
Fair enough.
Because speaking about the wrestling quality, I can't remember what pay-per-view it was, but there was a four women tag team. There were 4 women tag teams in a match, a fatal 4-way. And it was one of the crispest matches on the night. Lots of sequencing going on, up and over bridges, suplexes, roll-ups, schoolboys, schoolgirls. And the Iconics were front and centre in a lot of that, so people can jog on with their Billy Kay's a terrible wrestler, in my opinion. Bias probably is strong in my heart, but I'm just sad. I really enjoyed the Iconics. That gif of Billy Kay moshing out to a Mensuga song was fantastic.
That made no sense at the time what she was doing.
I know. But I would even give her a network show.
You got to be joking me.
Oh, Rance, well done.
No, he actually meant, like, you got to be joking. Are you serious? No, we don't want a network show.
Well, hey, look, multiple uses of that phrase, sir. if I can get a pop out of Clive, I'll take it.
Okay. Right, we're down to, let me see.
Is this the last one?
Hold on a minute, I've lost it.
Make it a good one.
Right, I don't know if it is a good one or not. So apparently at PW Stream, I know they're a horrendous entity. Finn Balor wants a match against Edge. Now, the way that's worded, it's as if Finn Balor has said that himself. So that's not what I am talking about. Suplex City Limits retweeted this and said, Edge only gets to work with people we've seen him with back in the day. Never understood why they stuck him with Orton instead of doing new matchups. Now, Ricky, I'm sure you can imagine things were curtailed rather abruptly with the tricep injury. Do you think that has any merit? Now, before you answer, Edge was on what's his face's podcast, Corey Graves, and he did say that once the Orton thing's over, he wants to work with the newer talent. He wants to have stories with the young guys and show them all about having story-driven stuff. And obviously it was put in the can. We would have expected this to all have been wrapped up by SummerSlam. So injury aside, would you rather Edge worked with Orton or straight away in with new feuds?
The Orton one didn't bother me because the storyline was right there from the Royal Rumble. You know, with the elimination. Like, it didn't bother me in that sense. Yes, it should be done by now, but obviously with Eddie's injury, like for his first one back, that didn't bother me at all. Like now, if he then goes from Orton and then say suddenly Cena comes back, suddenly he's doing Undertaker, I'd be like, just fucking put this on a different show, please. Like, get the old timers their own show kind of thing. So no, I expect him to definitely come in and maybe start working with some of the younger talent. Kind of like what Jericho done towards the back end of his time in WWE. So yeah, that doesn't bother me at all. It says the Orton thing coming into the Rumble and how the Rumble played out, how they played it out, it made sense to me. And like I said, it would be over and done with by now if it wasn't for the injury. And it's not like we got 2 bad matches. Like, I know the second match is billed to be like the greatest wrestling match ever, right? Whatever. But
it's still decent.
And even the WrestleMania match for me probably went on slightly too long, but it was still a good match to watch. So it doesn't bother me. Like, now, like I say, is now, if he goes away and doesn't come back again, I'd be kind of like, oh, man, that was a perfect opportunity you had to for someone like a Kevin Owens or whoever, like, one of the quote-unquote younger talents, and to go over on Edge. So that's where I'd have an issue if it's just a case of one and done, and it was only ever going to be Randy Orton. I'd be like, you kind of missed an opportunity there. But nah, it doesn't bother me. Like, I'm sure we are going to get Edge versus someone else like that isn't a quote unquote legend or from someone who's one of the older guys.
Am I the only one who seems to remember that Adam Copeland broke his neck and had to retire for 9 years? Am I the only one who remembers that? Because last I checked, the man's neck was in such a bad shape that if he took a wrong bump, he would be paralyzed for life at one point. Am I the only one who remembers that?
Yeah, so you get in with someone that you know and someone that you feel you...
Like, sometimes people just say shit just to say... Like, Clive, you'll understand this better than I think Rick will, because you have daughters. I tell my girls all the time just talk. Just because they can just fucking talk. Nothing of substance to say, nothing that they're trying to get across, nothing they even want to tell you. They just feel like I have to talk because I have the ability to talk. Sometimes people just say shit just to say shit. Because if he had feuded with 4 people, all right, let's have a conversation. He's feuded with one guy, and the one guy he feuded with is the consensus safest wrestler on the roster. What are we talking about? Why is this a conversation? Like, what are we looking for? What controversy is this person looking for? Like you want him to wrestle Finn? Who you want him to take a Pele kick? Really? No. The 1916?
Oh, the 1916.
And his first match back? Like, what are we doing?
Not only that, like just give it some fucking time to see who wrestles next.
He's had 2 matches, dog.
And like we say, I'm sure. We don't know about his contract situation, but like, let's just say he never got injured. I'm sure maybe at Clash of Champions or maybe at Survivor Series he would have been involved in another match. Like, for fuck, just let it fucking play out. If you don't like how it plays out, that's the time to shit on it. Just see how, just in general, when it comes to wrestling, just let it play out. Yeah, you can say, I don't like this, I don't like where it's going. And then when it's done, just shit all over it and say, hated that, and this is why I hated it. Don't start shitting on stuff and forming these stupid opinions like 2 matches into his return.
Yeah. And real quick, I'm sorry, one more thing, real quick. There's a big difference between not liking something and being able to understand why something is happening. Learn the difference.
Mm-hmm. My gripes with Edge coming back are different entirely, just because of his, as we've talked about there, the neck injury. I'm over it. I would say I'm over it now, but obviously as kind of towards the very twilight of his career, if he's in his second match back and his triceps left him out for months and months. But the impatience with fans is rife.
Look, man, if you come back from career-threatening injuries and stuff and you want to wrestle again and one bump can go wrong, I'm fucking watching. Like, you know what I mean? You know the risk. And you have... Mm-hmm. I'm not talking about Edge, I'm just talking about in general. You might have a wife, you might have children. You know the risk, but you're still willing to do it. I'll watch. Whatever will happen.
So while...
you're fully aware of what could go wrong.
Aye. While Edge's story is still to be played out, what we've seen from Orton is his best work in 11 years. 11 years before Edge retired.
That's crazy, isn't it?
It's maybe even better than the psychopath that he was.
Yeah.
Like, my favourite time was when he was the young legend killer. That was so cool. Everything about that was cool. He was untouchable, but this year has been something very special.
Yeah, he's been excellent this year.
Well, that's me for the hot takes that I bookmarked on Twitter. I have to say that was quite good. That's probably the easiest content generator I've ever come across.
See before we move on, can we talk a little Retribution?
You took it out of my mouth. You want to talk hot takes? Can we talk about Slapjack, Mason, T-Bar?
Oh.
Slapnuts.
Oh.
Right? Choke on that. Slapnuts.
Oh, ha, ha, ha.
Like... You guys don't... I have the Hot Take Factory show. You guys don't have the opportunity to spit these things. I want to know what you think.
I liked it at the start. Those names are fucking ridiculous, right? The masks they were wearing this past week, I didn't mind Dijakovic's. I don't really get the comparison part because I'm not into all these fucking stupid superhero, make-believe, Iron Man, Superman, Batman shite.
Whoa. You had to say stupid. That wasn't necessary.
No, fun enough, I actually just watched Man of Steel earlier on today. So I don't get who it looks like or whatnot, whatever. Right? The one with Mercedes Martinez and
yeah,
like I don't know, like if you want us, like obviously based on that, like you want us to know who they are, but you could have made it better. Could have done a better job of hiding their faces more. And the names I hate. I want to see a mouthpiece or a leader though, whether it's Shane, Triple H, a disillusioned wrestler, Kevin Owens, Sammy, whoever. I'm just naming names here. Whoever it may be. It was fun at the start. Like I say, I'm hoping to do have some form of leader that comes out at some point. It's not even Retribution I want to really be talking about. You know who? And I read results and then I pick little small segments to watch. You know who? When it was recorded and I watched it I didn't watch the full show, but I started going through it because I wanted to see these segments. You know who I've loved the last 2 weeks?
Her Business.
Oh Lord.
Or affectionately known as the Bruh Horseman. Greatest name I've ever heard on Twitter.
That's fucking hell. Go back to last week when it was the closing segment, and they all come out and they put the belt. Lashley puts the belt down, and they all start unbuttoning their jackets, and MVP kind of puts his arms out and says, "Let's go," and you just saw them all marching down like.
Dope.
And then this week again, just that's how his show starts, and obviously it ends. The other thing I quite liked about the ending of the show, in a sense, was it was Drew McIntyre that was leading the locker room. It wasn't just all these random also rans that no one gives a fuck about. Granted, there were quite a few of them there, but it was almost like a powerful type image. It was like, well, do you know what? Drew's leading the charge here, bringing the rest of the locker room out, so the main guy cares, and it adds a little credit to it. But the Hurt Business, fucking unbelievable these last couple of weeks.
To your point about Drew bringing everybody out, Retribution had been jumping people in the back all night, so that's why they felt the need to come. I get that. Titus and Humberto.
It was more so the fact that Drew was right there. Drew was leading, so it could have been like, even if it was Titus leading them, you'd be like, all right, okay. Or even if it was Humberto, or if it was anyone else, you'd be like, but Drew led him out. That's to me, that was good to see. But like I said, the Hurt Business are fucking sensational. I absolutely love those guys. And I know we keep talking about the whole no crowd thing. I'm telling you, see, last week when their music hit, if we had a crowd and that sounds raw came over there, crowd are fucking lost their shit.
Mm-hmm.
It'd have been Shield Wyatt's level.
Oh, it's Hurt Business are fucking excellent.
Yeah, they are enjoyable, I have to say.
Well, Clive, Retribution.
Right, first thing, it's dotted throughout the product. You've got a thing called the Thunderdome. You've got these Mad Max style masks you've got the riots, you've got Raw Underground where etiquette is out the window and it's all just about Raw survival, pardon the pun. The creative are definitely leaning into this post-apocalyptic times, in my opinion. The whole COVID, coronavirus, riots in America, all that stuff. It's as if they've taken aspects of real life and taken it and put them into their show and given it this post-apocalyptic feel. There's a one-word term for that. I can't remember what it is. So from that side of things, I can appreciate what they're doing there to give it that end of days feel. Retribution, I thought the visuals at the start were stunning. The chainsaw to the ring, just spray painted, not even like doing the NWO, they just ripped the performance centre to shreds, and just the visuals were excellent. It went on doing the same things for a bit too long for my liking, which I said last week, and then all of a sudden things change immediately this week. I'm very excited to see Dijak on the main roster. I'm surprised at Mercedes Martinez.
She's been wrestling 20 plus years. She had to get called up. It would be a disservice to her to wrestle a long time in NXT when she's been main roster ready for 15 years.
How good was that cage match with Rhea Ripley, by the way?
Fantastic. And I'm very upset they didn't start the next NXT with Robert Stone still on top of the cage. That would have been the perfect way to start the show. But yeah, fantastic.
There is whoever is in charge of booking specifically women's cage matches on NXT, give them a wage rise. Give them a parking spot closer to the building entrance.
Agreed.
So many amazing.
Been fantastic, yeah. Come to think of it.
Even the one with Dream. Okay, that the Dream situation is something else. But the way he won his match to get a title opportunity against Adam Cole, that was really clever. But the whole thing with Shayna Baszler and was it Io?
Io, yeah, when Candice jumped off the top. Yep.
Such a good finish. The finish where Tegan Knox was smashed up against behind the door.
Fantastic. Yes, you're right, sir.
And this one, bringing the weapons in before the match, set the tone immediately. Okay, it wasn't a clever finish in terms of using the cage match, but just what's going on with the women's cage matches in NXT? They've all been absolute crackers.
Well, but NXT books their women probably better than the only other division that books their people better, maybe AEW's tag. But like NXT's women's division is one of the best booked divisions in all of pro wrestling. Just want to add one thing on Retribution. Yes, it's silly. Yes, it's a little hokey. It's early. The only issue I don't have an issue with the names so much as I have why they have those names. Because the story's been told that they are Performance Center veterans. The story's been told that they've been signed to the company in some capacity for a while. And I know they don't think that we remember past last week, but like we remember Dio Madden, the big black guy with all the dreads, used to be calling that same damn show. And Mia Yim is in an open relationship on camera and canon with Keith Lee. So like, tell me why they changed their names, and I'll be okay with the name changes. Like, at least with Eric and Ivar, it's a very clear understanding. They're Vikings. Those are Viking names. They chose to lean into their Viking roots and go all in. Like, cool. I can understand that. But, like, why would Dio Madden start calling himself Mace all of a sudden? Like, what about Dominic Dijakovic makes him want to be called T-Bar now? Like, why? Tell me. What is the catalyst for this change? Did they join a gang? Is this a real life gang type situation? All right, cool. Because we know they basically play an Antifa. What are we doing? Tell me why, and then I can accept it. Until then, it just sounds like you're doing shit to do shit.
Well, who was it that was Slapjack?
That's Shane Thorne.
Oh, fucking hell.
And by the way, that's Shane Thorne might be the most important member of the 5 because he's going to take the bumps, right? Brendan and Dijak are too huge. So Shane's going to work most of the matches and take the bumps. So like he's the most important person. And I'm so stoked for him because no diss to Mikey Nichols or whatever he's called in New Japan now. He's fantastic. But when he left, like Shane Thorne was on his own, like had his ass out there to dry. So I'm happy he got an opportunity because he's fantastic.
I don't know, just when he was on his own, it just felt like a total channel changer for me.
He's not a singles guy. That's why he's a tag specialist. He's one of the best tag wrestlers in the world. Mm-hmm. The mighty Don't Kneel went to every except for NXT, every company they were ever in, they became the best tag team.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I can't. That's just put me right off Retribution now that you've said that.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not him then. It's I don't know, random white guy number 16.
Dexter Lumis.
Well, no, because Dexter Lumis got some beef on that. He got some beef on him, bro. If it was Dexter, you'd know those traps would be bulging out of that shirt.
Because of all his crawling about the place. Well,
yeah, that's a good point.
Speaking of slap nuts, and if you're wanting to slap some good old-fashioned deodorant onto your nuts...
I actually did, just so you're aware. A couple of hours ago when I came out of the shower, slapped on some old cream, but continue with the plug.
Well, this is why Manscaped have redesigned the electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineering team have spent more than 18 months perfecting the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created and just released the new and improved... Did you just sniff your fingers?
He just did!
Obviously, I didn't have my hand in there, but I'm just because I've sneezed.
So did you just...
can't see anything past your neck, sir. We don't know what you did.
If you didn't have your hand down there, how did you apply the stuff?
I didn't apply it right now.
Just go with the joke.
I literally... No, because you're making it out like I'm just sitting here grabbing my nuts, talking to you two, and just randomly sniffing my hand because I want to smell my balls. I want to smell my balls.
Maybe Manscaped stuff smells that good.
It does.
It does smell nice. It does smell nice.
Back to the plug.
The third generation trimmer features a cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce manscaping accidents. If you have the accident, which I had, which was you shaved too much off, then that's your own fault. Millions of balls...
No such possibility of shaving too much off, but anyway.
Alright, slick dick. Millions of balls about to be nick-free thanks to Manscaped's advanced skin-safe technology. Manscaping accidents are finally a thing of the past. The battery will last up to 90 minutes, so you can take a longer shave. The water-resistant technology allows you to groom in the shower. One of the coolest features is the LED light, which illuminates grooming areas for a closer and more precise trimming. They've upgraded to a 7,000 revs per minute motor with quiet stroke technology. And let's not forget about the charging stand. Show your mower off loud and proud because this intelligently designed stand is a convenient charging dock powered by USB. Oh, I've scrolled too quickly. I want you to experience this firsthand. I want you to experience the gels, the creams, the deodorants, the free newspaper.
The underwear.
Yep. Not exactly ball bag standards, but they're close enough. So,
Jesus, mate, way to fucking destroy your sponsor.
Oh, shit. Trim that junk of yours.
Sorry, Jeremy.
Get 20% off and free shipping with your order if you put the code SUPLEX at the checkout area at manscaped.com. Your balls and your loved ones will thank you.
So, one question.
Asshole your hand. Pam and her friends.
Pam and her 5 sisters.
Just one quick question. If you're shaving your balls for 90 minutes, I don't think you're shaving anymore. I think you have an enjoyment of that sensation.
I did. Honestly, I didn't mind taking the old razor to the balls. I quite liked that. That was nice. It was a therapeutic moment for me.
Mm-hmm. I shaved
every week.
I shaved a Formula 1 finishing flag into mine.
Well done.
No, I didn't. It just all goes, every bit of it.
You know, we're talking about Pam and her 5 sisters. You might not understand this, Rance, but Ricky, you know how, and it's kind of a touch on partially recent Sami Zayn Bobby Lashley angle.
Oh God!
What is one of the slangs for a penis in Scotland?
So many.
Right. Well,
Dick, Bobby.
Bobby, right? So, Bobby and his 5 sisters.
Oh my God! An incest wank.
Is that the new category on Pornhub? Incest wank?
We are so sorry, Jeremy. I'm just going to text him right now and be like, I'm sorry. Don't say it, not going to put any context to it, nothing whatsoever. And he's going to, he'll be like, what's wrong? And I'll be like, oh, you'll find out tomorrow night.
And I'll underneath it, I'll put a gif of the young child with the bucked teeth dabbing his sweat-ridden forehead. Now, who fancies a quiz?
I do.
It's fucking quiz time with Ricky and Clive and Rance. A fucking WWE quiz.
You know I'm going to get a guitar, and I want to make a version of that for you.
So good.
I...
Or an 8-bit version.
Nice.
That would be dope.
We say the theme goes a WWE quiz. That's not quite true anymore, is it?
It's an Edge quiz.
As an outsider's Edge?
No, because half the time we end up using Edge as a category.
The Adam Copeland quiz. The Adam Copeland Invitational.
Adam Copeland, baby.
People don't seem to get that joke when I tell it to other people. The Austin Jenkins, he's black. They don't appreciate it like you guys do. I appreciate you guys' appreciation.
It is one of the funniest things. There we go. Right. So
no, I think one time we said it to James, and we were like, "Oh, because Adam Cole's black," and he was like, "What?" And then James got it and was like, "Oh, Jenkins, yeah." Like, I'm sure it was James. I'm sure.
James and I are normally on the same wavelength when it comes to jokes like that. He normally gets.
I'm sure it. I'm sure it was James. I can't remember what podcast we were doing it like, but James was like, "Oh, yeah, I get it."
Oh, Adam. He should. Eve Torres should come back, right? And then they should have an on-screen relationship where they're just called Adam and Eve.
Adam and Eve, wow. You know, Eve's husband is a Gracie brother, right? So, like, he'd kill anybody who would probably touch her.
And then, I can't remember if my Bible's correct, but they could have a son and call him Cain.
Yeah, you're right. Cain's the oldest.
Right, the quiz.
Cain, Abel, and Seth.
Cain, Gable, and Seth. There's your new stable.
By the way, now that you mentioned Gracie, Stylebender versus Paulo Costa this weekend.
Oh my God! Did you see the Chisholm or whatever his name is? Whatever the Russian dude who knocked dude out with one punch.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know how to say
WWE quiz. We'll talk this later. WWE quiz time.
Yeah.
Right. So, Ricky, this was just meant for you, but we got Rance in quite late notice, so there's a high chance that you're going to lose this quiz. Okay. It is a quiz where we will see if you know what NFL teams wrestlers came from.
Oh, that's not fucking fair. I'm gonna kill Rick in this. Okay.
But last time you came on and you got destroyed, and you thought it was a fix, but you were a last minute addition.
Oh no! Okay, no, you're right. Okay, so I just want you to know, you just made it worse for your boy. Yeah. Just need you to understand that.
I know, but
I mean, I just want people to know, like, I know my fucking American football.
Okay. Well, let's see how well you know it.
I mean, I don't know my wrestling, but I know my American football.
Ricky, what's your buzzer?
Fuck. I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
Rance?
So I just watched one of the greatest professional wrestling matches in history earlier, and it's from New Blood Rising 2000 in WCW, the Canadian Rules Canadian Heavyweight Championship match with Mike Awesome and Lance Storm. If I can be serious for a minute.
Oh, I would watch the living daylights out of that match.
I just watched it again this morning. It's fantastic. Only a 3 count. It's the greatest spot ever.
Right. So the first person has. Which 2 teams did Mojo Rawley play for? So this is a 2-pointer.
If I can be serious for a minute.
Rance?
He played for the Cardinals. I know that. Arizona Cardinals. And he played for the. It wasn't the Colts because that was Corbin, which is probably a question on this quiz. It was the Bills.
It was I spit in the face of people who want to be cool. Rance got 1, and the other one was the Packers.
Well done.
That's right. Yeah. Okay.
Goldberg played for.
My buzzer. Where's my buzzer?
Just shout buzzer.
I spit in the face of people who want to be cool.
I would say Rance. He did.
Give it to Rance.
He did say the word buzzer, so that kind of counts.
I forgot my damn buzzer. He played for the Falcons.
What Falcons of where?
Atlanta Falcons.
Yep. Okay.
Falcons of where? We actually do need to name the city for him, by the way.
Yeah, my bad. Yes, the Falcons of Atlantashire.
Ron Simmons played for who in the 1980s?
If I could be serious for a minute.
Rance?
He didn't play pro football. He played for the Florida State Seminoles.
Fuck.
No, according to
He played pro?
WWE.com is the source for this one.
Oh shit! Well, that's just made up. No, I didn't know he played pro football. Go ahead.
Spit in your face of people who do want to be cool.
Ricky?
It's Cleveland Browns.
It is.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Well done. Well done.
Right. His tag partner, Justin Bradshaw, signed with whom in the 1990?
This is a trick question. If I could be serious for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Because he didn't play for the NFL. He played for the USFL. Did he play for the NFL? Is it an NFL team?
I don't know.
You won't know.
It says,
because I remember
it says on WWE.com superstars who played in the NFL, so it must be.
NFL. Okay. I already buzzed, so I'll give a guess. Because I know he played for the USFL. My guess will be, I know it's not Dallas. My guess will be the Denver Broncos.
No.
What year?
1990. Such an unflattering picture they've got up of him.
I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
Mm-hmm.
The Cardinals?
Nope. Los Angeles Raiders.
Oh, he was a Raider. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
No, that's pretty tough, especially in the 90s.
So am I right in saying it's 2 points apiece at the moment? 3-2.
So.
No, 2 each. Yes.
Well, I got the first one and the Browns. Rance got the first one, the Falcons, and I feel like you got someone else.
I got another one. Yeah, I can't remember what it was.
I don't know who.
3-2 to Rance.
No, 2-2 is fine. 2-2 is fine.
No, I think you're right. 3-2. Now, here's for 2 points. I don't know if this is 2 points, actually. Steve Mongo McMichael was a member of which team?
If I can be serious for a minute, Chicago Bears, 1985 champions.
That's the second one. That was the other bonus point. What did he get in that year? And it was a
Super Bowl in 85.
Yep. So 5-2 to Rance.
Shit, he was a part of the
Yep.
Mike Singletary team?
Yes, sir. I think he was a right guard. I think he was offensive lineman. Number 76.
Right. Next one. Superman's arch nemesis Lex Luger was signed by the...
If I could be serious for a minute.
Rance?
It was a Viking. Minnesota Viking, I believe.
Mm-mm. He also played in the Canadian Football League and the USFL.
I spit in the face of who don't want to be cool.
Ricky?
You're not going to get any. You're not going to understand this, but it's in definitely. You said the Vikings runs.
I said the Vikings, yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's NFC North team. So
it is, but it's between. It's not Detroit. It's either Green Bay or it's Chicago.
That'd be crazy for Chicago because he's from Chicago.
Yeah, I'm going to say. What year did you say?
Didn't say. Doesn't have the year.
Fuck it. Green Bay.
Correct.
Oh, was it Chicago? Oh, yes.
Well done. Well done, sir.
Right. Right, this is an interesting question. An injury kept Titus O'Neill from playing for which team?
NFL?
Mm-hmm. But he played in the Arena Football League.
Well, we're talking about the NFL team he played for, right?
Yeah, he was going to play for them, but he got injured.
Want to give it a guess. If I could be serious for a minute.
Rance?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Nope. Ricky?
I only know he went to Florida.
Oh, dog. Oh, man. If Rick gets it wrong, don't tell me the answer because I know it. I'm pretty sure I know it now.
Okay.
Right, screw it because I said Florida. The Dolphins?
Nope.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Correct.
Yep. I don't get the point for that, but yeah.
And a 1 in 3 chance.
But he went to Florida.
Yeah.
Whereas, yeah,
well,
so
that's where I went. Miami. I could have went Miami, Tampa, Jacksonville.
Well, I said Tampa because he lives in Tampa, and I was thinking, why else would he live there?
Oh, I didn't even hear you say Tampa.
Yeah.
Right, I'll do two more.
I probably still would have went Miami anyway.
I'll do 3 more. Right. Ray Finkel.
Who the hell is Ray Finkel? You gonna sit there and what is the answer? Who is that guy?
Ricky, come on, you know who Ray Finkel is. Or who he became. Ricky, Ace Ventura is one of our favourite fucking films.
I know who you're talking about, but I've not got a fucking clue. But fuck it. Yeah, I spent in face if we don't want to be cool. The Miami Dolphins.
Aye, that's it.
Who was Ray Finkel?
Ray Finkel was in the Ace Ventura film. Dan Marino did not have the laces out. Ray Finkel missed a Super Bowl winning goal, disappeared, had a sex change, became a detective, and then kidnapped the dolphin and tried to kill Dan Marino.
Missed the Super Bowl super kick or whatever you just missed the goal.
Goodness. What the hell?
He missed the goal because Dan Marino didn't have the laces out.
Oh man, that's fantastic. I don't even know who that dude is. Good job.
Is Ace Ventura not a staple in your childhood, Rance?
I mean, it is, but I mean, like, I don't remember the movie I watched last week. So you asked me to remember a movie I watched 20 years ago.
I think it was one of those films that we watched many a time in our house growing up. Right, 2 more. Mike Adamley.
Who did he play for? If I could be serious for a minute.
Rance Armstrong. Rance Storm.
Nicely done. He was a Chicago Bear, wasn't he?
He was. And the last one, Ricky, You've probably guessed by now that you've lost the quiz a long time ago.
Oh, really? I thought we were fucking level. Alright, okay.
Ahmed Johnson was a middle linebacker for...
You can get the point if you can tell us what a middle linebacker actually is.
Oh,
That's great. You win the quiz if you can tell us that.
a middle,
I know the answer to it.
middle linebacker. Right, tell us the answer. Give us a buzzer first.
I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
Right.
Carl's team. The Dallas Cowboys.
Yep. Right, so middle linebacker. That means, see the blue 32 hut bit?
Mm-hmm.
No, sir.
What's it called when they do that?
That's the center. The center. That's the quarterback who's calling for the center to pass.
Right, Ricky, in rugby they call it a scrum. What is it in American football? When they do the blue 32, hut.
I mean, that's like the snapping of the football. So
Right.
like the commencement of the play.
So there are 3 lines when they do the snapping of the football.
Mm-hmm.
And Ahmed Johnson was at the back of the middle line.
Of what line though?
The
On
middle
what
one.
side?
The middle.
Yes, but with the one with the quarterback or on the other side?
The quarterback's at the very back because the quarterback gets the ball and does a Hail Mary pass.
Anyway, the middle linebacker, right, is pretty much like so.
Was I close?
Have you? I'm trying to. I would like try to dumb it down to you just based on Ace Ventura. So imagine, right? Imagine you're the quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're looking straight on at 11 guys opposite the defense, right? So you've got the 4 guys in the line of scrimmage direct in front of you, all like in their stances. You pretty much see the guy you're staring at like 5 yards across the line of scrimmage from you. That's the middle linebacker, I would say. That's the dumbest way I can explain it to you.
I still didn't get it.
Basically,
Okay.
there's three levels to the defense, right? Ignore the first 4, and then you'll see 3 guys standing behind those 4. The guy directly in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's the middle
Right,
linebacker.
okay, right. Was he a good middle linebacker?
Probably.
I think I probably played about a fucking year, so I very much doubt it.
Did you like that quiz, guys?
That was good. Next
enjoyed
week, I think I should quiz you on American sports.
Oh, that would be absolutely hilarious.
Who win the 2020 Super Bowl? The New York Yankees.
Los Angeles Lakers.
LeBron James plays which sport? Oh, he plays ice hockey.
I do know.
I think you're better than that.
I do know the sort of legends of each of the sports.
Oh,
This
man.
is completely again random, Rance, but did you see after AD hit the winning shot, you hear him shouting Kobe?
Kobe. And they were wearing the Black Mamba jerseys.
Mm.
That was so dope. Yeah, it won my heart.
And the 3-pointer from the middle linebacker was glorious stuff. It really was.
It was.
And then when he got the 5-iron out and he hooked it through the woods into the field, the upper 90.
That's it. And then ran on and tried to kick the ball through the goal.
And then
To win the Super Bowl.
then I did a schoolboy roll up and did the crossface. And Charles Robinson sprinted the whole 100 yards, the whole 9 yards, and shouted "Woo!" and then just collapsed.
Oh man, I got to hear this American sports quiz now. I have to. That'd be the greatest quiz in the history of quizzes.
No, it wouldn't. So, Rance, thank you for joining us tonight. Do you want to give us your deets?
Well, thank you for having me, of course. You can find me at DEJ Kirkby. It's Ray Cash, REY as in Mysterio, CASH as in dollars, at Outsiders Edge CS, guys at Outsider, whoever owns at Outsider Edge, holla at me. Ricky and Clive got some Manscaped shit they're gonna send you if you give me the handle.
No, steady on a minute.
I'm trying to bait the guy to give me the handle.
As long as he doesn't mind some second-hand ball trimmers, then that's fine.
I never said they were gonna be new. They're gonna be working. Well, if you get Ricky's uses his too much, that shit might not be working. But anyway, yeah. Chair Shot Radio, Chair Shot Media Network, Black Lives Matter. You know how to find me. Thank you for having me, gentlemen.
Thank you for coming on. We have been...
that ha was just something I read on Twitter.
What was it? What the last hot take of the night?
Yeah, this is a hot take and a half, actually. Someone goes, spot on, now I want to talk about this on the next Outside the Edge, and the person that tweeted it was Carl.
Hey, look, Carl has been very consistent recently. Carl is back.
No.
Okay?
You've just jinxed it.
You're probably right. No, you know what would jinx it? If I said Carl's coming on Ricky and Clive. He'd never do another podcast again.
He's been on one episode and that was it. Or two.
No? Has he?
Two, I think. Remember, the first time we came on, I think it was the five of us, we'd done it like a back-to-back thing. And then the next time we were on, it was that debate thing that I fell asleep for and didn't wake up for, remember? And I woke up to a message from Rance in the middle of the night saying, wake up, fool. And I was like, oh, wait, I guess I missed it.
I just want to let you guys know as we depart from this wonderful venture we call a podcast, that The Rock has come out today and said he's open to wrestling Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Let that sit in your cross. Cross is an American word for like where you put your tobacco in your jaw.
Oh my God.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Sorry, I'm just watching That's Our Mongo.
Promo?
No, That's Our Mongo on Twitter, and Goldberg is trying to jackhammer someone, and it is the worst thing I've ever seen.
I went through that Twitter page for like 3 hours the other day and just literally cried with laughter at every single GIF.
I'll put it in the group chat. I don't know, that's awful. Right.
Yeah, but another one you're talking about, yeah, is the guy in like a white shirt. It's he almost kills the guy. It's fantastic.
So we have been the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show as part of the Social Suplex Podcast Network, where you can get other shows such as One Nation Radio, Keeping It Strong Style, Grown Men Watch This Shit, Grave Consequences, Caleb's new venture with the Lucha Underground, Greatest Match Generator. As far as I'm aware, the Shallow Impact is taking a bit of a hiatus at the moment, which is a shame because it just got off the ground, but hopefully that'll come back. And All Things Elite. You can rate and review our podcasts on the podcatcher of your choice with a nice juicy 5 stars. You can get these podcasts and the columns that we do on socialsuplex.com. If you want them sent directly to your email inbox, you can press the subscribe button. If you want some t-shirts from the Social Suplex gang, go to prowrestlingtees.net, put in the word Social Suplex, and that will take you to the site. If you want some nice slappable nuts, then go to manscaped.com and 20% off any of your order and free shipping with the code SUPLEX at the checkout zone. And if you want to donate to the show, please do so by clicking the links on the show notes. Wrestling Squared Circle is where you can find us all on Facebook. And the final plug from myself, I broke my 5 Nerds Go cherry last week. Delighted to be there. I was equally honoured and horrified by the content. So if you think this show is rated R, then this was bad stuff. So if you want to listen to a car crash, go ahead and check out the 5 Nerds Go's most recent podcast. That's us, Ricky.
You don't want to tell the folks where the podcast we're going to be appearing on tomorrow night?
But see, that's recorded well in advance. So
oh, is it? Well, we won't say anything. One of you I've not spoken to in a while. I'm looking forward to seeing you. The other one,
So
I'll let the two of you figure out who I'm talking about.
So
like
basically, you told everybody what you just told everybody what show you're going to be on tomorrow. You might as well say it. Is it a land of bad things?
How did you guess that?
Because the only human being I know that does wrestling podcast that records them 3 months in advance is Max. So it had to be him.
Yep.
And obviously, I'm not going to say which one I'm looking forward to talking to.
Me?
There's only one. So 2 people I don't really... I'm not bothered if I talk to them tomorrow night. The other one I'm looking forward to.
How you hate your own co-host, bro?
Nah,
That's
cool. I have nothing but love for my co-host. I'm about to get off the call, get into bed, watch some Bray Wyatt promos while he's going to sit and edit this stuff. I've got all the love in the world for him.
Yowie wowie, that's what I've got to say to that.
Anyway, should we end the show?
So, see, now that Becky Lynch has taken some downtime, getting ready while she bakes one in the oven, she was getting all flustered doing the ironing the other day, and she just ironed lots of clothes, like all your baby grows, muslins, jackets and stuff. She'd iron them.
Muslims?
This has been the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Muslins. You know what a muslin is, don't you?
Yeah, I know, but it just genuinely for a second sounded like you said Muslims. I was like, what the fuck?
I thought you said that.
She decided to iron chic.
Oh god.
So she set them all
Muslims, bro.
up. And listen to this, okay? She dropped all the ironing, and all the stuff fell to the floor, and Seth, being a lazy bastard, just watched it all unfold.
God.
That was worth it, actually. That was actually worth it. Now, hey, listeners, don't be out here ironing no Muslims, okay?
Yeah, please don't iron me, folks.
Yeah. And don't give any press slams to Muhammad Hassan while you're at it.
Please don't. Because he's actually Italian.
And he's actually dead.
And he's still falling from the last ride.
He's still falling from that last ride.
Well done.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Let's go. Good show. Good lazy show where we just let Twitter give us the content and we laugh at my NFL.
I need you to understand. Like, this is the best hour and a half of my week when I come on this shit. I need you to understand. This is bad. Like, I don't laugh so hard in any other show but this one. So thank you.
That's okay.
I hope Kyle doesn't take offense to that.
Well, look, the way he got pissed off that I did a show with Carl at midnight.
Well, this has been a randomly unnecessary and awkward silence based off that.
I mean, I thought you would end the show.
Let's just talk about ironing Muslims again, shall we?
Thanks for downloading, folks. Speak to you next week. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Podcast. We'll see you next time.